Studying abroad is not just another classroom. It's not about another academic decision. It's a life-changing experience. And it's all about new culture, new challenges, lot of surprises. So today we are going to discuss. I'm your host Manas Behera and welcome to this episode where we'll talk about decoding global career. What student must be aware before planning for higher studies abroad. And if you're a student planning for higher studies and going overseas for higher studies or career development, this episode is for you. A little bit friendly reminder that what we are going to discuss today is all about our personal stories, personal insights. It is not an official advice. So pick up what you like and always double check before taking any major decision. Now, hope you are ready. Let's get started. Today we have someone very special guest with us. It's special to me. His name is Adarsh Pattanaik. He has lived the journey that many students are dreaming about. He has done masters and he worked in India for a couple of years and then went abroad for higher studies, and now he come back India with a global perspective, building his career. Currently he is working in Big Four in management consulting across multiple industries. So let's introduce and invite Adarsh. Adarsh, thank you so much for joining.
Hi Manas, thanks for having me on your show. It's indeed a pleasure to meet your audience as well.
Excellent. So maybe we can start with a short introduction about you, couple of sentences about you so that our audience can know.
Absolutely. So my journey has been a very unique one according to my experiences, I would say. So I started my career obviously here in India. I did my bachelor's in engineering in Orissa, and after that I started in Bengaluru. That's like the dream city for all the IT engineers in our country. So I started as a cloud infrastructure engineer, worked here for a couple of years. I gradually started to feel that my day-to-day experiences were getting a little bit redundant. So I was in a crossroad whether I should make a switch to another organization and look for a major pay hike. At the same time, I was also thinking that should I actually explore other opportunities like maybe gaining more academic experiences. So I chose the latter and I made a major decision to actually quit my job, and I prepared for the exam in the meanwhile, and with the score that I got, I was able to get into Melbourne University in Melbourne, Monash University in Melbourne. And after that, it was a very wonderful journey, and after completing my education in Australia, having a bit of experience there as well, I came back here, and the journey here has been wonderful so far.
Amazing. Lot of interesting I can see. And just before getting into serious questions, I have a lot of questions that student community has raised. Just starting with a lighter note, when you landed, what was the big surprise for you? Was it food or was it weather or something else?
To be honest, there were like a lot of experiences that were, you can say like a cultural shock or like a reality check to say. The biggest thing that actually I took for surprise was I went in the month of February, and I was expecting that it would be very cold over there as well. But as a matter of fact, it was just the very opposite. It was a very hot day that day, and I regretted wearing all my heavy woolen clothes that day. And the same day I got another reality check is in a way that the cab that I took from the airport, I was having a driver who was like a Indian student who was pursuing his PhD.
Wow.
So I happened to have a chat that day. Even the driver, the student who was pursuing his PhD, he happened to be like a very friendly person, and as a matter of fact, Like as you know, like I mean, when we find another person from our country in a distant land, they definitely would like to have a friendly chat. So how he actually encountered and narrated his stories was like was like a reality check for me. He narrated basically that he came to Australia to do his masters, but after that, I mean, without having the ability to like, I mean, scourging for like a proper job in his domain in the Australian market, and to kind of like sustain the lifestyle that he has been used to, or you can say actually he has been like I mean, flaunting to his folks back home, or so I mean to sustain that and to like continue in the country to like meet his peer requirements. Again, he has to like do like a PhD degree. At the same time, like he had to like do a lot of odd jobs, like driving Uber and then working in a pizzeria like after studies. So that was actually like a reality check for me that it's not all like a very glorious thing to expect once you're like landing in a foreign country and getting a opportunity in a foreign university. It's not all very bright. So you have to actually get a peek into that gloomy picture as well.
Now I can imagine already there are a lot of roller coasters ride already. So I think some of the questions are around that. So we'll definitely explore. But others, first question, how does studying or building any career in India differ from outside, whether it is Australia or any other country? What's the overall, what are the differs?
So to say, if I would not narrate only from the perspective of Australia, I had friends and my peers who were like parallelly studying at the same time I was studying in Australia. There were like people I know who were studying in Germany, people who were studying in the USA, and even people who were studying in Japan. So there is like a definite cultural drift even in the academia field, I would actually say. But at the same time, what students in our country especially are used to, the kind of academic curriculum and the makeshift of education and the pattern, and not necessarily in the professional field, but I mean throughout their journey. I mean, how they have been actually taught is like being spoon-fed. A lot of information is like spoon-fed by the teachers, and students expect that everything has to be like narrated by the teachers and taught to them, and they have to be like explained everything. But abroad, outside India, the experiences that I had, and the kind of experiences that I garnered talking to my peers in other countries who are like studying parallelly, it is like a very different experience. Because the academic structure is like set in a manner that students are expected to explore on their own, and they learn by experiences. They have to like do a lot of their own self-study. They have to like explore and research a lot of material that is beyond the textbooks, and there is no such syllabus, like a set syllabus kind of thing. So obviously, yes, there will be like certain expectation you'll have in a certain academic year in a certain subject, but so to say, knowledge is not limited to a certain book by a certain author or a certain for a certain subject. You have to like look beyond the boundaries and be on your own.
Yeah, I think the main crust of this message is a little bit more independent.
Yeah,
and everything is not just given in spoon feed like we are getting sometimes privileged. Good, thank you. Now next question, what are the biggest mindset shifts students need when moving from India to any other country?
that's a very good question. I would actually say that the mindset shift does not stay limited only to like the academia. Obviously, here when a student is actually moving outside India, a lot of things that they should keep into mind and consider is that the privilege of convenience that we are used to in our country, that kind of facilities and services are not to be expected outside. So say for example, we are very much used to like having like people work for us. We are used to like having maids and maybe helping hands in to help us in our day-to-day lives. But people outside India, they prefer to have like a kind of a independence, and they prefer to do like all kinds of menial jobs, and they're very handy with their day-to-day lives as well. So even as a student, you have to take care of a lot of things like your laundry, your cooking, taking care of your day-to-day lives, your kitchen, your home, and your domestic affairs, everything, including your that is to your studies. The rigors of studies will be like obviously too much. So plus you'll have to like also expect that this is like a country where people are different. So I would like to use a term over here, that is multicultural competence. This is something that a lot of students, they do not carry that or have that within themselves. Obviously this is not something that everyone has. So you'll obviously like eventually learn that, because respecting people from other cultures, when you actually stay with them, study with them, live with them, you'll have them in your peer groups, you'll have them in your academic circle, you'll find them if you work some part-time jobs, you'll be finding people who are like working with you. And even if you like find a job over there, like after your studies, you'll need to like respect their culture, their mindset, and those kind of things definitely take time. So definitely like having like a dynamic and flexible mindset is very essential. Not staying rigid to like your own roots or your practices and beliefs. So obviously we should like stay true to who we are. Plus we also need to like respect others and how their tradition and culture are. So that's actually like a very lovely experience to have.
Amazing, lot of learning. So major key takeaway for me is be more responsible, show the civic sense, respect each other. So yeah, a lot of learning. I think apart from studies, we have to learn a lot about the culture and people. So that's amazing. Good. So next question is, what students should realistically expect when they go abroad, both academically or financially or socially? What should they expect? Sometimes they land with a different expectation and they found that, oh, I didn't expected this, why it is happening. So there is a big difference. So maybe in your case, what should, let's say I'm going today, what should be my expectation?
Yep. So I would be very realistic in my narration over here. Like majority of us in our country, like don't come from old money. Obviously we'll have like parents supporting us, but that can be like a different scenario from person to person as well. Several students also go with their education loans, and that is like kind of a hanging sword that always looms over their head during the entire tenure of their study as well. Plus, when you're like landing in a foreign country, managing your expenses can be like very tricky and very difficult, because the finances and the financial overhead that you'll have because of the monetary differences and the monetary value that our currency and the foreign currency actually holds, that will be like a very huge gap. So managing that plus your studies and finding a job to support you, sustain you, and when you are like in the walls of a classroom, you are actually like a safe haven. But when you are like outside in a foreign country, very new to this country, and you are like trying to like figure out, because every day is a different experience. You meet a lot of people who are like different, and it's because it's the real world out there. It is something that it's as if someone has just plugged you and placed you in a different situation and like a different simulation altogether. It's not something that you are used to. The mindset and everything is going to be different over here. So you'll have to have a lot of patience, and at the same time be very calculative about things. So managing your finances and the other challenges that you face in your day-to-day lives, everything has to be planned meticulously. You can definitely have fun around and like build your own circle, because eventually you'll be able to like find people from the country in your who are studying with you, who are like living with you. It's good to have like close friends. Obviously you'll be like able to like build a close circle of friends, like a support group who will be like there to have a back sometimes. because they're also in the same boat that you are in. But at the same time, you'll also have to have like a very keen understanding of whom you are like trusting, and the kind of people that you are like allowing into your close circle as well, because sometimes we are in a very vulnerable situation, and sharing a lot of those things and getting close to such kind of people can also be like a very tricky thing to do.
Absolutely.
So these are like some of the like absolute challenges that I think that students should actually look at and take care of when they're like landing and exploring avenues outside.
Excellent. I think for me the key takeaway is not every day is rosy day when you are not in India and outside. So when you are within the class, it's good, but you are outside, have a support system, have a good connection with local authorities, and of course take care of your health. Security is the number one priority we should follow. Amazing, Adarsh, thank you. Next question is, what are the most common misconceptions about studying abroad? I mean, there are a lot of students. I was doing a little bit of research. So far, maybe 1 million near that figure have students outside India, and it's been always uptick from last many years. And India is now at number 2 position.
Yeah.
So that's how is the figure is saying. So yeah, tell me, what are the common misconceptions that before going?
So in my opinion, it's like a very wide spectrum that I think, because it's a very glorified thing that studying abroad will give you like all those exceptional opportunities that and you'll be like ahead of the curve. You'll be able to like jump the wagon and get into those those circles in the industry, and we'll be able to land those opportunities that not everyone will have. That is actually like a very glorified opinion, I would actually say, but the real picture is very different. So obviously, like in India, like as I was saying earlier, the academic mind shift that you need to actually have, I might have missed that earlier. In India, basically students feel that they are entitled to something called as a post-educational placement assistance. So it is something that every one of us who have like pursued like a bachelor's degree or like a master's degree in India expects that our academic institute is supposed to help us land a job after our education.
Yes.
But this is not something that is to be expected outside in the foreign universities.
Is the same equal struggle?
It is like the role of the university ends with giving you like the right education, landing you in the right direction, and giving you the necessary degree that you have like come for after you like meet all the requirements. And after that, obviously you'll have like the peer assistance and peer support, the network of alumni. But it is not to be mistaken that the university is entitled to give you some kind of placement assistance. So it is not at all to be mistaken that you'll be like getting those glorified jobs or getting those huge packages as a paycheck right immediately after your education. It's not something very true. So obviously the struggle is there. After you complete your studies, you need to like identify your unique skill sets that you are like good at, and obviously align that with the requirements of the industry. So if you have like planned something with your academia, that the degree that you're pursuing, obviously there will be like a lot of areas that you have like you have been exposed to. So building kind of the specialty in the domain that of your choice, where you are good at, and obviously identifying your strengths and aligning that with the requirements of the market and then the requirements of the industry is very crucial. And once those are aligned, we'll obviously be able to make it big.
Amazing, amazing. For me, the key takeaways: don't heavily depend on your college outside for getting a job, first placement. Rather, depend on your skills, depend on your network. That's how they will give you. Amazing, thank you. Next question is, how students track personal development time while juggling studies and work? Because I have seen many students they they also do some part-time work.
Yeah.
And since personal development, personal growth is very important for not only just for the student as well as career aspirant and industries leaders as well. So how they can do that both?
So here I would actually say that dignity of labor is something very important that you need to like have, and also like understanding that no job is like a lesser job, or if you're like used to obviously like working in the industry like in a very professional field, but immediately once you land over there, you should not be expecting that you'll immediately land like a similar job, because the industry here is very different, and people working in the industry and the requirements are like very different. They will obviously not be hiring you right away, even though you'll be having like a ton of experience back home in your country. So because here the working rights are very different, the conditions and terms of your visa, of your study visa, they are very different, and obviously like the industries do not hire like people who are like on study visa.
Or so in all these areas, both studies, part-time work, how they can manage their time to grow personally. And like a lot of soft skills are there: networking, presentation skill, storytelling, negotiation selling, and all these things. So how they can, because they are juggling between a lot of stuff.
It's actually very easy to sway away from your educational priorities, I would actually say, because I mean there are times where I have actually seen students struggling to like find like the monetary support to pay their rent and running their domestic expenses, and at the same time they have to like put the huge effort needed to meet their academic requirements, because as I said earlier, it is not a very easy thing to have like a education in these foreign universities, because the expectation and the bar is set too high, and you have to like explore a lot, you have to like study a lot on your own, you have to like spend those hours in the library and on the web to find out things that are beyond your textbook, and build that kind of expertise that is like beyond the textbooks and the knowledge and the discussion that you have in the classroom. So as the professors here will only direct you in a certain direction, but the actual thing has to be actual mechanism of like understanding the aspects of the subject has to be done by you. So it is very easy to sway away, and I've actually seen that people putting in a lot of hours in these part-time jobs and swaying away from the primary objective of putting in the necessary hours in the education. But this is also very tricky for them. If they would not be able to sustain themselves, they will again be not be able to like find the right amount of time that is needed to put up in the user education.
It will further delay the
So I have actually seen that people not being able to like complete the academic requirements and not being able to qualify in an exam, because they have like not been able to like meet the necessary requirements in a certain assignment, and those are like very bleaky situation. You have to be very calculative about your approach. You have to plan your funds way ahead of advance, even before going on landing in the country. So that is actually something that goes a long way, and obviously it definitely helps having support from back home. And if the education loan that you have actually been able to like back you, there are actually certain expenses of the student that the education loan also supports. It is easier to actually have like a education loan and like to meet this domestic expenses also, rather than like flunking your exams. So focus on your education, focus on the objective that you have in hand. It is not that much of an effort to like pay away these loans. I would like to like definitely highlight this to the audience. I have seen several students like throwing away their career because of this, and because I've like spent a ton of time spending like a lot of efforts, lot of time focusing on these part-time jobs, and then swaying away entirely from the education, and that turns out to be like a very bleaky picture, and you will feel that the entire effort, the entire time that you have actually put forth in studying over here, it has all gone down in vain.
I think this is very important point, others you got. I understand education price is going up, and we have to sometimes depend on the education loan. But as others mentioned, that it's part-time job is just temporarily. Don't look at a permanent solution. Focus on building your career, and that loan will definitely go away. You will be able to close that loan if you are focused on your right track.
Plus, there are like other things like, I mean, I've seen like students getting fascinated by a very trendy iPhone. It is like very easy to get swayed away because they have got a policy of a phone on lease kind of thing. You can like basically pay $250 a month and get the latest phone that you want with like a telecom plan, like a Telstra plan or something like a SIM card, and you have to like keep on paying this $250 every month. That goes up to like whatever amount the device is, and to meet that expense, I mean, immediately right off the pocket, it doesn't seem too big, but month on month, when you have to like actually pay that $250, you have to struggle to actually meet the expenses of your domestic household, and at the same time thinking that I mean, even people have seen buying like cars because they think that once we have like landed abroad, because it's very easy to actually like buy a car over there on lease as well, but having that ability to sustain that month on month, that is actually where the challenge arises. So don't flaunt something that you don't have. Stay true to yourself and stick to the agenda that you have actually come here for, the primary objective of getting the education, and everything will follow suit.
Absolutely bang on. I also find this kind of mindset is also available in India as well, and we kind of under peer pressure we try to do certain things which is not in our goal at all. So rather focus on your goal, because the game that you are playing is completely different from the game that your peers are playing. So yeah, as others mentioned, focus to your career rather. Thank you. Next question is, what career options open up after studying abroad compared to studying in India? Because obviously there is a advantages out there, because that is the reason most people are going. So what are the new things, new avenues or career options open up when you come with a foreign brand certificate?
Yeah, so definitely there is like a tag to it. I mean, I would be lying if I don't accept that. So industries back home in India definitely prefer, like, I mean, students coming from these foreign universities. That is actually like a reputed university that has got a good global ranking. So if a graduate from there is available in the pipeline, obviously the paycheck is definitely higher than the other candidates that are there applying for that role. I would accept that. So that definitely opens up these doors, because the kind of experiences that you'll be like getting back there will be like working with people from different cultures, different tradition, different countries, different mindsets, and that kind of sets you apart from the kind of experiences that you'll be like getting here back home. Because obviously, like working with people from different cultures and tradition, you'll be like open to working with like various working styles. That kind of flexibility and approach of leading teams, and understanding like the situation that everyone is in, and that kind of empathy that it actually builds. That it is something not limited to a skill set alone, but it is like a kind of a psychological thing that also plays a huge role. So those kind of experiences, those kind of rich experiences that you gain, and the kind of exposure that you get when you're like working with in a situation where like there are people from so that definitely sets you apart.
Absolutely. Because you know, others, most of the companies today, they are geographically distributed presence, and since you are, while studying, you are getting that exposure, that itself is going to increase that bar.
And when you're like working in a MNC back home, and obviously you'll have to like deal with clients again from those countries, you'll have that kind of gap already filled in, which a lot of people back home in our country struggle to like have that kind of rapport build, and that definitely takes time. And with experience, they will obviously be able to like fill in that gap. But Here you are someone who have actually worked with them firsthand, lived with them day in day out, and you know how they think, how they feel like, and that kind of fills in the gap a lot.
Absolutely.
And sets you apart.
Absolutely. Amazing. Good. So there might be last couple of more questions. Hope you are enjoying, all of you. Next question is, how can students leverage their international exposure when applying job back in India? That's kind of similar to these questions. Yes, but apart from cultural thing, what else they can leverage?
As I narrated a bit back, the kind of academic experiences that you actually get, the kind of learning that you are exposed to when researching on your own, and the kind of projects that you have to work with. So that is actually very unique and sets you apart. For example, if you are in a project management course and you get to work with a city municipal metro project as one of your academic projects, so there you get to experience firsthand how the real world actually looks like. Here, if you are only involved with certain kind of factual data sets, and some you are only working limited to that, you leave away the real world scenario and experiences that come with that, the real world factors that are there. So that actually sets you apart, the kind of experiences that you gain with this. So obviously, these kind of experiences, obviously you will gain starting with any tier 1, tier 2 university back home as well, because here also you will be able to get those kind of internship experiences and industry experiences. But if you actually are missing on that, and you actually are able to gain exposure to a foreign degree, that will actually again set you apart. So leveraging that, you can actually talk to the hiring managers that this kind of unique experiences that you have imbibed within you from your academic experiences and your project experiences, that is something that you can actually bring onto the table and contribute to gaining the trust of the team leader, and you can actually fill in those big shoes that they're actually looking for.
Amazing. Maybe the last question. So let's say others today, maybe others 18, 20 or 22, what one advice that you would like to give young others that the person is going tomorrow? What advice you will give when somebody is going abroad for higher studies?
So honestly, the first advice that I'll give to my younger self is manage your expenses well, and in a more calculative manner, because I was not someone who was very tactful in managing the day-to-day expenses, and at the end of every month I would be calling up dad, hey dad, I'm falling short of some money, please send me again in. I was lucky enough to have the support of my parents back home, so I did not have to struggle a lot in that direction. But again, to understand what every other student is actually going through, I also did a lot of these part-time jobs, and so I also understood the true sense of dignity of labor. Back home, before leaving for the foreign university, I was again in a very well-paying role back home as well. But when I had to do those kind of menial jobs, sometimes I used to think to myself, is it really worth it? What I'm doing right now, but that actually humbled me a lot, I would actually say, in the true sense. So to my younger self, I will actually say that definitely put aside your ego and definitely go for it. So this is going to be a very humbling experience also, if you're going to get such an opportunity. So manage your expenses well, focus more on your academia, and explore more if you can. If given the opportunity to redo this again, I would maybe take up some more challenging alternatives or subjects that maybe at that time I thought that okay, this is too difficult, maybe I'll choose an easier alternative subject. So maybe I would have challenged myself a bit more, so that that again would have enriched me with additional experiences and maybe some unique experiences, some more experiences I would have garnered down the line.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Amazing. Manage your expenses. Take more challenge.
Yeah.
These are the some amazing tip that I got today.
Definitely,
all of
like
you-
I mean, come out of the comfort zone, and that bubble that we live in, we need to like come out of that, and the comfort level that we are like used to. Like once we step out of it and take the leap of faith,
Yeah.
we need to like back it up with a lot of hard work, and yeah, everything will follow suit.
Amazing. I wish I could go on for some more time, but it's so inspiring, so interesting to know. Maybe some other time
Yeah,
we'll do one more
absolutely.
podcast to deep dive into others' day in Melbourne or some in the house. So thank you so much. And how do they, our student or somebody wanted to reach out? What's the mode of contact? Would you like to give?
Yeah, I'm like available on LinkedIn. You can reach out
Okay.
to me, Adarsh Pattanaik. You can find me. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Adarsh, for joining us and sharing all the valuable information. I'm sure that many students who are planning now or already in abroad studying, they can get some value from this session. And if you liked it, do share with somebody who is planning to go abroad for higher studies overseas. So that is going to help a lot. With this, thank you so much. Keep learning and keep moving forward.
Thanks a lot, Manas. It was
Thank
an absolute
you.
honor to be on your show and meet your lovely audience. Thank you
Thank you
so much.
so much.